He became known as the father of the Constitution. He helped organize the Constitutional Convention and, along with John Jay and Alexander Hamilton, argued for its ratification in the Federalist Papers. He served as a leader in the new House of Representatives, but his politics shifted to oppose the expansion of power by the national government advocated by the Federalists. He co-founded the Democratic-Republican Party and served as Secretary of State under Thomas Jefferson. His 2 terms as president were dominated by disputes with Britain, which led to the War of 1812. He survived the burning of Washington and the White House itself. With the war over, he supported the creation of a national bank and protective tariffs. He retired to his native Virginia, to the house where he had lived from childhood. He is our nation's 4th chief executive, James Madison. Looking at a map of the Mid-Atlantic region, we can see the area where Madison was born at Belgrove Plantation in Port Conway, Virginia, in this area here near Fredericksburg. Madison's estate, Montpelier, was in Orange County, over in this area between Culpeper and Charlottesville. Madison, of course, spent a lot of time in Philadelphia, first at the Constitutional Convention, even before the Constitutional Convention as a member of the Continental Congress, and then as a congressman advocating for the Bill of Rights. Philadelphia was the capital of the United States from 1790 until 1800, when it was moved to Washington, where Madison, of course, served as Secretary of State and President. He was president when the city of Washington was burned in 1814. And he's buried back at his estate, Montpelier, in Orange County, Virginia. Now let's take a look at some photographs of some of these sites. Let's take a look at some books in my collection pertaining to James Madison. For a good biography of James Madison that covers his whole life, I would recommend James Madison, A Life Reconsidered by Lynn Cheney. It was published in 2014 and argues that Madison was a very consequential founding father and president. Another good book from 2017 by Noah Feldman is this one. It's called The 3 Lives of James Madison, Genius, Partisan, President. It divides Madison's life into 3 parts, the first part being the Constitutional Convention and through the ratification of the Constitution. The second part being Madison's role in the first Congress and the formation of the Democratic-Republican Party. And the third part being his experience as Secretary of State and President. Another good book by Richard Lubunsky, published in 2006, is James Madison and the Struggle for the Bill of Rights, specifically chronicling Madison's work in amending the Constitution to include 12 proposed amendments, 10 of which were passed and became the Bill of Rights that we know today. This is a very old book by the historian Henry Adams of the Presidential Adams family. It's called The History of the United States of America during the administrations of Jefferson and Madison. It was originally published in 1921. This is a good overview of the War of 1812. The Civil War of 1812, American Citizens, British Subjects, Irish Rebels, and Indian Allies by Alan Taylor. It was published in 2010. And a good book about The burning of the White House is this book published in 1998 by Anthony Pitch. It's called The Burning of Washington, the British Invasion of 1814. It covers extensively the campaign that led to the British taking Washington, burning the White House, and the Capitol. The Madison's estate, Montpelier in Orange County, Virginia, was only renovated and restored to its appearance during the Madison era in, I think, 2007, 2008. And I have a couple of books associated with that, the first of which is James Madison's Montpelier, and this is a book that you can get at Montpelier when you visit. But it has a lot of interesting things about James Madison's life and also about the restoration of Montpelier. Another good book is called The Madisons at Montpelier, Reflections on the Founding Couple, and this was published, I think, in 2009 by Ralph Ketchum. And this book deals with Madison's retirement from the presidency and offers a number of reflections and essays on the Madison's life at Montpelier in his post-presidency. Our next episode will feature our nation's 5th president, James Monroe.